Hey, welcome back to another episode of the She's Making an Impact podcast. I'm your host, Rachel and Gome. Today, let's talk about, how to prevent burnout because burnout is a very ugly thing that has happened to me back when my son, he's 9 now, back when he was a baby. Um, yeah, I burnt out hard. I got sick all the time and I felt like a terrible mom. And gosh, I just remember like him being 1 and wanting to play outside, and I just felt like crap, and I was like, "Nope, can't do it." And ultimately, like, it came down to how I was prioritizing, my life, my business, him, and just how I was showing up. So I wanted to give you some tips to prevent burnout because burnout is not fun for me. It led to gaining 30 pounds, having to spend a lot of money to see a naturopath to get my body back in balance. I got sick literally every month, like strep throat and like all the flu. It was every month something like a big thing. Um, and when you are burnt out, you can't grow a business and you can't be a great mom. Like, you got to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Okay. So important. So, to prevent burnout in your business, I wanted to share just some of my tips with you that I have implemented since then. And I would love to know, have you experienced burnout? Are you going through it? It's not fun. So, to start with, you got to create boundaries. Boundaries are so important. So you got to create boundaries. And this goes with boundaries with yourself and boundaries with clients. And so boundaries that I've created with myself are around, my phone. And so I am no longer tethered to this device. It comes into my office where I work and it's charged from like 6:30 until the next morning around 7 when I take it to go for a walk. And so I have strict boundaries with my phone and just communication in general, notifications. I don't have notifications turned on for pretty much anything except phone calls, text messages. um, yeah, that's the big one. And so I created this work environment where I work in my office and when the office door is closed at a certain time, I'm done and I'm done, right? And so you got to have those boundaries with yourself of, okay, what's acceptable in terms of technology, right? In terms of notifications, you can turn off notifications. Like, you don't have to be at people's beck and call 24/7. And I think it's really important that you set those boundaries with clients as well. So you got to create those with yourself of when is it acceptable time for you to be working, right? You got to set your work hours of, I'm going to work from 9 to 3 or whatever that is, Monday through Friday. So set those expectations and those boundaries with yourself and then with clients. So, like, I do private coaching packages where I offer Voxer access. Voxer is like a walkie-talkie. So I have clients that can send me a message. They can send me stuff to review. They can send me sales pages, emails, all kinds of stuff. And I'll review it, give them feedback, get back to them, right? And give them just extra coaching on Voxer. I'm really clear when we start working together. These are my Voxer hours. So you can reach me from 9 to 3, Monday through Friday. I'm really clear on that because if you don't set those boundaries when you first start, you're going to train your clients to teach you like they can reach you at any point. And then pretty soon, if you don't respond to them at 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday, they're going to be pissed. And then you're going to be pissed. And then like, it's just not a good situation. So you have to have those boundaries and you got to set them up from the beginning. Okay. So then set out work hours, set work environment where like, this is my office, this is where I'm working, these are the work times. So you show up at a specific time. Next is plan time off. You got to plan time off. And so make sure you're taking weekends off. I take off, Fun Friday. Make sure you look in advance and plan time off on your calendar. We leave for Paris today. I got my Frenchie shirt, my Karl Lagerfeld shirt with the Eiffel Tower. I'm ready to rock and roll. Like, I'm packed. Let's go. Hosting a webinar after this, then we're off. So you got to make sure you have those times on your calendar where you're getting a break, where you're not working. Okay, this is so, so, so important that you look in advance, like the next 3 months. When are you taking holiday, right? When are you going? Where are you going? What are you doing? But you got to plan those things in advance and be intentional about it. Because if you're not, just work ends up creeping in and then it takes over. I know from experience. So you gotta be really intentional, block that time off on the calendar in advance so that you don't get, if I don't block stuff on the calendar in like at least 3 to 6 months in advance. I end up getting podcast interviews and like all these things scheduled. So I make sure it's on the calendar. I plan to take the time off. Okay. Next is ask for help and ask for support. I think a lot of like especially as driven entrepreneurs, we want to do all the things, and you cannot do all the things. You cannot. So you can't hear in the background, but I have these two beautiful women, Carmen and Jessica, vacuuming right now, because I know I cannot keep the house clean and show up as a great mom and a powerful business owner. So I'm looking at what are the things in my life that I can delegate, that I can outsource, and it doesn't need to be me the one that's doing all the cleaning all the time, right? And so the same goes for within our business. I don't need to be the one that's responding to emails. I don't need to be the one that's scheduling social media posts. I don't need to be the one that's doing all the coaching. I don't need to be the one, like all these, look at all the things that you have going on in your life and in your business and say, can I outsource this? Can I delegate this? Can I automate this? Because if you think you're, being some kind of a champion from doing all the things, you're not. You're setting yourself up to fail by trying to do all the things. And so you got to ask for help and ask for support so you do not burn out. And then finally, I want you just to do some self-reflection. And I had to do this of like, why are you working so hard? Why was I working so hard? Like, what's the payoff there? What's it giving you? And so for me, I think I was working so hard. We have a podcast coming out about the Enneagram and different personality styles. And I'm like the doer personality style. And for me, I was getting a lot of just like it was giving me significance to do well in work and to see, different accolades, especially in network marketing, or to see our income grow and all these different things. And so I was getting a lot of significance from working. And so then it's just self-reflection. So ask yourself, like, if I am working 24/7, what's the payoff? What is it giving you? Like, is it true? Is it valid? From me, in my network marketing business, from me getting to X amount of rank, does that make me a better mom? What does that actually give me? Does that like what's the payoff there? Is there really anything? No? Okay. So you got to figure out, why are you working so hard and what are you doing all this for? It's really important. I did a program, gosh, 10 years ago. Chalene Johnson had a program called Smart Success. And in there, we had to list out like all of our priorities and everything. And you can say, family comes first, but is that the reality? Is that the reality? Like, are you actually showing that in your actions, right? And so you got to know, what are your top priorities? What are those for you? And then are you living out those priorities on a daily basis? Okay. If you're experiencing burnout, I would love to hear from you. And if you apply any of these tips, because these are big ones that have helped me a ton. Just be a better mother, a better wife, and a better entrepreneur. Because ultimately, like, you cannot grow a successful business if you're burnt out, if you're getting sick, if you're not taking care of yourself. Okay. So to recap, boundaries with yourself, with your clients, work hours, work environment, plan time off, and just ask for help and support, and reflection. What's the payoff? All right. If you need support and you want kind of a roadmap to help build your business, you want our help, just go to helpmecoachnow.com and I will gift you a free strategy session. So do that now. Go to helpmecoachnow.com and I'm going to get ready to leave for Paris. À bientôt. Et bonne journée. Bye.